friends, welcome to English Learning Studio, and in this episode we are going to have the refinement process, how you can refine your answers. And I would like to tell you that whenever you are responding, there are 3 or 4 categories of questions that figure in the IELTS speaking. I'm talking about part 3. In that you will be asked to either give a general view of it. It could be even giving your point of view. You may be asked to speculate a question. In each of the categories, you are expected to use different kinds of discourse markers and vocabulary. So friends, we're going to start now. This episode is on tourism. We're going to focus on tourism. So my first question is, and before that you need to tell you whether it is a general question or it's a point of view question, it can be speculative, etc. Okay. As you know that there are 4 marking criteria. The first being how you respond to the task. That is your fluency with the fluency and coherence. It means you must produce it reasonably fluently, and secondly, you must answer relevant answers. Okay, you must give to the point. The second criteria is your pronunciation. The third criteria is vocabulary, that is called lexical resource. In the lexical resource, there are a few things. First of all, how effectively you can use a variety of words, how you can use idioms and phrases, and various modern day expressions. And the last but not least is your accuracy of grammar is also judged. At the same time, you are expected to have variety of sentence structures. So these are the marking criteria. Okay? So try to give the best answer and have a refinement of that. Okay? So friends, my first question this episode is, are people taking more holidays and traveling far away these days? What type of question is this? As a general, you are asked, this is a general question. Okay. Who would like to answer? Who would like to respond? No.
Shall I?
Yes, please.
Can you hear
Good morning. Once again,
Yes.
are people taking more holidays and traveling far away these days?
Well, yes, people are taking the more holidays in current scenario. That if I can be seen from the recent era, that people are having so much hectic life, busy schedules. So they would like to be unstressed, or they would like to have calmness in their mind. So yes, they will take the leisure time and go for the holiday. So basically they are choosing the place which is just far from their current city.
It is true. In current days, since last 2-3 decades, it is observed that the people's life have been very much busy and hectic schedules are being observed, and due to this pressure and competitiveness in their job, they are feeling more stressed, and to overcome their stress and to be relaxed and to have some their quality time passed in with families. If they are not able to give enough time to their families, they are always trying and strive to get some holidays, and they are going out of the job work and they are going out of city or more due to this easy.
Okay, friends, now I'd like to tell you a few things that whenever you are attempting this type of questions, do not stretch too much. Like you are expected to give, say there's no benchmark actually, but you can attempt about 4 to 5 sentences that will suffice the requirement. So there's no need to go for a longer version of answers. So it could be very straight answer that yes, these days observe that people are going more outside and they're taking short holidays or vacations, 3 or 4 vacations per annum, and it's like every quarter, like people would like to go out. is that the kind of life we are living today, it's quite stressful, and people have to be de-stressed with the getting freshen up once they go to their favorite destinations. So that's the reason like people go frequently these days. So this is how you can give the answer. Okay, so there's no need to give too much of longer-winded answer, and give straight answers. Okay, that's a general question. The second question is, where did people go for holidays in your grandpa's or grandparents' time, say 50 years ago? Yeah.
Earlier in my grandparents' time, they prefer to visit their relatives' home. In my grandparents' time, they like to visit religious places. They like to visit places, pilgrimage places. Pilgrimage places like Somnath, Haridwar, and this kind of places, because they have they had lot of faith in God. So they don't go for outing like in nowadays.
It's a modern day. Yeah.
Modern days, they prefer religious places to visit.
So earlier people used to go to religious places, that's pilgrimage places, for the pilgrims. Okay, good. So that's a very good answer. The only thing is need to bring little smoothness when you're talking about. Produce your answer a little in a natural way, rather than it should not appear that you have mugged up the answer and you're trying to speak. Okay. Moving on to the next question, why do people want to travel and go away on holidays or for holidays? Why do people want to travel? Why do people want to go on holidays? Yes, please.
People choose to travel because they want to distress their life
De-stress their life.
by having hectic schedules in their workplace.
Since they are having
Hectic schedules in their workplace,
Okay.
and they want some relaxation and rejuvenate
Rejuvenate, very good word.
rejuvenate their life.
Okay,
So they choose to travel.
nice. Okay. Fine. So the main reason why people travel is to de-stress themselves from mundane work or day-to-day work. And these days our professional life is quite demanding, and people have to work for a longer period, and it's quite tiring. So definitely everyone needs break after working for 2-3 months. So that's the reason people travel a lot these days. Talking about next question, is tourism having an effect on the environment? Amin.
Well, yes, tourism has effect on the environment. Like for example, there's a tourism place near to my home or near to my area, then lots of people would visit that place, and yes, lots of pollution will also get generated because people throw their waste materials here and there. So yes, the environment, there's a negative impact on the environment, I would say, because of tourism.
Anyone? Sheeta.
Nowadays, tourism has an adverse effect.
I'm not able to listen to you. Can you please be louder? Yes.
Nowadays, tourism.
Mind it, like it's being recorded when you are in the real test. So speak loud and clear.
Actually,
Okay. All right, carry on.
nowadays, tourism has an adverse effect on the environment. People from different countries visit to a particular place, and they may create some sort of disturbance to the environment, say by throwing
Litters, you meant to say litters?
Yeah. And this harms harms a lot.
Um, hazardous, they leave behind hazardous things such as plastics,
Polythene bags, plastic bags.
and lot of food packets.
Maybe it is solid cardboard already.
Yes, yes. Okay, I need to build up the whole answer once again and try to give. So you can say that yes, tourism has definitely negative effect on the environment. These days there are concepts of environment tourism, but in most of the cases, our tourist places are full of garbage. There's a lot of pollution in those areas, and that leads to definitely a deterioration of the environment in form of plastic bags, hazardous material, food items, food packets. So lots of litters are around the tourist spots, and they create great hazard to the environment. So I think we have to seriously think about tourism from the environment perspective. Moving on to the next question is how important. So the previous question was about, it was again a general question asking, does it lead to? And how important is the tourist dollar for the economy? No, it is not a speculative. How important is the tourist dollar for the economy? It is asking a general question. Is foreign currency important for any country? Dollar means foreign currency. Yes, please.
Well, it's really very important to have foreign currency, because when a country makes some import, at that time that country has to pay in foreign dollar. So when foreign tourist comes in our country and they spend in dollars, we can have foreign currency which would help in that balance of payment when we import and when we have to pay. So yes, it's important for the balance of payment. Like we can have surplus of foreign currency.
Are you a common student?
Yes.
Yes. Let's take from an engineer.
Yes.
Okay, I'll repeat. How important is the tourist dollar for the economy?
Well, it is very important to have the foreign currency in our own country, like foreign tourism or foreign customers or foreign tourists come to our place, visit our place. By visiting their place, they are giving such employment from the
they
poor
utilize services
what they buy, what they utilize the services.
and they do the shopping.
They do the shoppings. So it leads the employment, give the employment from the poor to the rich people.
It's a scope of, there's a lot of scope of
Employment.
to the tourism. Yes.
So yes, and also it leads or it positively affect or magnified our economy to collect the foreign currency by tourism areas.
Okay.
Through the tourism area.
Fine, let me give my question for that. Yes, tourism contributes a lot to the economy of the country. We can see from the examples of Hong Kong or Singapore or Thailand, they have promoted tourism like anything, and they have, become developed nations rather than through the tourism. So I think it can contribute a lot. So tourism has to do a lot with the national income, and it's really important for any country to earn in dollars because our international currency is dollar. So dollar earning could be very good for the country. Now the next question is, will the tourist industry grow in the next 10 to 20 years and why? So what type of question it is? This is a speculative question. Yes. So you must use speculative vocabulary, your lexical resource, your discourse marker should be speculative. So who would like to attempt this?
my opinion, in future tourism will boost because nowadays we see that in current scenario people have more awareness about tourism. Talking about coming 10 to 20, after 10 to 20 years, it will people will get more fascinated about tourism. They want to travel more. They want to know different countries, cultures. So they will have such charm about tourism. So it has a bright future. Tourism has a bright future in upcoming years.
Anyone else? I didn't notice much of speculative vocabulary. I was waiting, I was looking for that.
Someone?
Yes, please.
Well, if we presume future, then we can say that yes, the tourism industry will grow in future. As if we look back to past, we have seen that there's a drastic or dramatic change in increase. What we can say? Increased. It has increased dramatically. It's like that. It has. If we look back to past, we can observe that the tourism industry has increased
Grown
dramatically.
leaps and bounds. You can say leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds.
Okay.
Okay. So, yes, and as people these days want to explore more, they want to travel more.
So always you can use vocabularies such as I think is likely to increase, is bound to increase because of XYZ factors. Presumably she used it. And if I had to predict, you can start like the discourse numbers. If I had to predict the future, I would say that tourism is likely to grow multifold from what it is now. Reason for my belief is infrastructure is growing and developing in countries. Number two, the communication is becoming faster. The means of transport is also becoming faster. So all these things are going to contribute towards tourism, development of tourism. So I think in the next 10 to 20 years, tourism has a bright future. See, your last sentence, if it is conclusive, if you give a very good it indicates that you have completed your job. Okay. So beginning is important, same way your conclusion is also important. So that's how you can do that. Last question in the room is, what do you think of tourism designed not to damage the environment? Very good question. The tourism not designed to damage the eco-friendly, you might have heard about the ecotourism or eco word is very much in vogue. What do you think of, here your views are, you have to express your views, point of view. What do you think of tourism designed not to damage the environment? If you see the recent example of Uttarakhand, we can say that it is attributable directly to the environmental hazard that was created due to the commercial activities. Maybe see video which I saw, it clearly indicated that it is because of the growing or overburdening of those areas, infrastructure. When they come up, because they dig up or the raw material for the making homes, like in form of mining has to be done, and that would lead to degradation of those environment. So it could definitely lead to flooding, it could lead to avalanche, it can lead to other disasters. So we must look for tourism, but it should be designed in such a manner that environment is not disturbed. So yes, now you can build your answer. Right. I given you the clues. It won't happen in the ad speaking. Right? This is a refinement class, so I just given you the clues. Anyway, okay. He is still like thinking what, not striking the exit what to speak. Anyone? Molly?
Well, yes. Nowadays, if I see, it can be seen that lots of pain on the environment by creating the infrastructures, like they are just digging up the area and pressurize the area by building up constructing the infrastructures, buildings. So yes, and also the one most important, I like to emphasize that people are more creating or disturbing the area or environment by throwing the litter. Litters. They are making it disturb the area, or even if I like to say about the river, they are just use the river by worshipping. They use the river to worship, but at the end they just leave behind the flowers and worship materials. So yes, this is the, it leads to the
still your answer is really it's not crispy answer. Trying to give crisp answer. Yes, it is the need of the hour that our tourism should be designed which is eco-friendly and we don't litter around when we visit, and there should be strict rules for that. And our places we should use biodegradable things when we move around. And it should not be like in forms of plastics and litters, which destroys the environment, local environment. So it should be definitely designed in such a manner that it is not harming our earth, Mother Earth. Right. So what I have noticed is a couple of friends are not involving. Fine, they are new, I can understand. Try to take initiative when speaking. You may not do well, but as you practice more, you can improve slowly. Yes, you would like to? Okay, please.
There should be eco-friendly transportation ways if it is possible at the tourist places.
Okay, yeah, that is a good idea.
This way the environment can help to less polluted area.
Especially when we are visiting those places such as those are very delicate in terms of eco. There we have to protect them. Where the endangered species are located, we must take extra care for that. I agree with you. Okay. So we end here, friends. Let me sum it up. Try to speak more, practice more. You can slowly improve your communicative skills. And your answer should be very crisp when you are answering. It may not be long, you are speaking in length, but whatever question is there, you are able to give the complete answer. The justification is required. You might support your answer with some kind of evidences or example. Say I cited an example of Hong Kong, those examples. Okay, you can add examples. You can talk about, you can talk about Kashmir where food is not, it doesn't get degraded for even longer periods, maybe 2-3 years. So we create a lot of hazard in the first place. Thank you for joining.